Greetings, 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 brothers and sisters. Before we even begin this transmission, we want you to take a nice deep breath through your hearts. Bring yourselves into the presence of yourselves. Bring yourselves into the divinity of yourselves. Breathe in and out of those beautiful heart centers. This is the quickest way to bring the awareness of who you truly are into this realm, into this dimension. Be fully present with yourself. Stop running. Stop hiding. Stop searching. Because everything you require, dear ones, is right literally under your noses. Stop all activity. Be still within yourselves. Because what is there? The love that we see, the love that we know is you, is untouched by anything within this human realm. But to bring and allow this force of yourself into this human realm will transform everything instantaneously, with no effort, no struggle, no search, no seeking. And we are here to assist you to open and receive yourselves and that of the divine creator of all of existence. But before you can do this, you need to understand the bind you have put yourselves in within your human matrix. Because a matrix, dear ones, is a magnetic force field that attracts things to it and repels things from it, depending on the intention and the foundation of the matrix to begin with. Your minds have their own matrix, their own enmeshed code of magnetic fields. Your heart is the matrix of love. Your mind is the matrix often of fear. Both are magnetic, and both create and manifest things within your world, seen and unseen by you. So let us start with the matrix of the mind. Because it may feel that the mind is everywhere. And in fact, it is everywhere, but in the present. The mind is either in the past or the mind is in the future. Because when you are fully present in the heart chakra, there is no thinking, there is no thought, there is just feeling. Feeling of the truth, feeling of the interconnectedness with all things, because all things at their core are love. And when you take yourself out of your natural state of being and put it in here, believing you are in here, then you create all sorts of doom and destruction within your creation. Because from the moment you are born, you are consciously or unconsciously fed fear into the mind. You are taught how to think. You are also taught, in fact, how not to think. How not to think for yourselves. You are told to obey your mother and your father. You are told to obey your school teacher. You are told to obey your bigger brother or sister. You are told to obey the government. You are told to obey the police. You are told to obey religion. And all the while you are not thinking for yourself. And in a sense this can be a good thing, and in a sense it can be a bad thing. It depends where your senses truly are. Because as we said, in the truth of love, if your consciousness is emanating itself from there, you will not believe anything you are told to obey, because the only thing you obey is love. The only thing you surrender to is love. But you have surrendered your wills, your divine wills, to obey beings outside of yourselves. And this has created within your society a magnetic matrix of disempowerment, a magnetic matrix of confusion, illusion, and delusion. You see what we are saying? And it is interesting, as some dear sister or brother is out there coughing, as soon as we mention the will, many of you will be feeling disruption within your throat chakras. Because what we are asking you to do is to take the biggest journey any human being can take, and that is from the matrix of the head to the matrix of the heart, and the bridge is always the throat. The bridge is where the divine will sits, emanating from the heart, and the throat is where the bridge of free will, fear of the mind, also sits within the throat. So there is often a battle of wills going on within this part of your bodies. You see what we are saying? And if the mind takes hold with fear, it will cause all sorts of disruptions within this very powerful center, because this is where you express yourself. And this is the point where you choose to release yourself from the matrix of the head to surrender to the matrix of the heart, or you choose not to. And in some points, some places within the being, many of you have decided not to make a choice at all. But understand, no choice is still a choice. If you hear yourself saying, I have no choice in the matter, well, you are obeying the matrix of the mind. You always have a choice, brothers and sisters. Always. Now, the Creator's divine matrix, in fact, is not magnetic at all. You need magnetism within this realm, within this dimension, and that magnetism is held together with what you call gravity. You gravitate things to you, you are gravitated to Mother Earth. The divine matrix has no gravity within it. It is what we call kinetic consciousness. It is continuously expanding and expressing and moving. It is not magnetized to anything. So we want you to understand that Mother Earth is in a matrix as well. She is surrounded by a gravitational grid, if you choose. Your solar system is in another gravitational grid. So all these balls suspended in your universe that you call your solar system are all dancing together in a gravitational pull. But we do not want you to get fixed on gravity. We do not want you to start to believe that you have no choice. You always have choice. And what we are wishing you to do within your conscious awareness, because understand, we cannot go against your will. The divine creator of all things cannot go against your will. And if you magnetize yourself to the will of your mind, nothing can move it. Except one thing, and that is your choice. To not try and control everything from the mind, but to surrender everything to the heart. However, whether you are aware of it or not, the matrix around your solar system, the matrix around your earth, the matrix around your mind, the matrix around your every cell in your body is beginning to transform itself. Is beginning to expand itself. And as each matrix expands itself, it brings into your conscious awareness things that you thought you had under control, such as your emotions. And we do not even have to ask this congregation how their emotional bodies have been, because we know they have been causing, you believe, chaos within your creation. You have not been able to keep a lid on them, have you? You have not been able to control them, because understand, the emotional body has its own matrix. But your emotional bodies, dear ones, are moving into kinetic consciousness. They are not going to be held in a gridlock anymore. And you need to see this as a very divine and wonderful thing. Because your emotions, and truly try to understand this, your emotions are the bridge between your mind and your body. Whatever thought you have, whatever belief you are obeying to be true, there will be an emotion created. There will be a response in the physical body. So, when you are depressed, that depression moves through the nervous system, moves through the chakras, moves through the cells. And before you know it, you're not just thinking you're depressed, your whole body begins to shut down in depression. Because you believe your thought. You are obeying your thought. So then you create a destructive matrix within the body. And until you believe that you are not depressed, the body will remain in a depressed state. You have, however, because you have denied your emotional bodies and judged them to be not comfortable, not convenient, not cohesive with what you want to do, what you want to create. You have cut off the bridge between the mind and the body. And this is why many of you believe you're not even in your bodies. Everything gets magnetized in the mind, and you do not even feel the body, you do not feel the emotions, you do not feel yourself here upon the planet, because the magnetic matrix of the mind has overtaken everything. And when you have an emotion, you have trained yourselves to shove it down. You have trained yourselves to obey society out there that says to have an emotion is a weakness. To have an emotion is an embarrassment. You have obeyed beings outside of yourself that have dictated to you what you can and cannot emote. This has caused great illness within your bodies. Because as long as you are in the mindset, the matrix, that you are separate even from your body, what do you think has created epidemics of cancer within your society? Because cancer is simply a reflection in the belief of separation. Because cancer cells separate themselves from the rest of the body and create their own cancer matrix. If you allow the emotions to flow as kinetic consciousness, as the divine force flows through the seen and the unseen of everything, your bodies would be far greater in health, far greater in wealth of energy. But you will say to me, but Maitreya, When I have these emotional explosions, I feel exhausted. It takes me over. And yes, of course, to begin with, you will be taken over by them, because they have been shoved down for year after year after year. But what is truly happening in the emotional exhaustion is your body is allowing itself to heal itself. Because it is exhausting, in fact, trying to hold everything down and keep everything under control. So for the first few emotional eruptions, yes, you are exhausted, but that is giving the body time to rest, to heal and harmonize itself, to regenerate itself, to refuel itself. Emotions are only exhausting, dear ones, when you shut them down. Now, because the emotional body is so sensitive, and it is here, in fact, to keep you in a wealth of health, physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually. Because the emotions have woken up and are beginning to move with kinetic consciousness, you need to go with it. Please do not resist it. If you have tears, have tears. Don't try to hold things back from others, because you revealing your emotions is going to assist others to reveal theirs. The ego mind has had such a hold, filled with judgment of the emotions, of what other beings are going to think of you. It has become very destructive indeed, to the point of, instead of spontaneously releasing your emotions, your planet is now going into incredible war. Because again, the matrix of the mind is trying to control everything. And this rage that is coming out upon your planet now is from human beings even trying to control love. Because rage is simply unexpressed love. Because as you sit here, love is beating through your heart and is in fact allowing your heart to beat. You see what we say? You have a planet that is so fearful of showing love. It has to express it somehow, so it is creating war. Spirit cannot change any of this. You cannot wait for us to intervene, because this is all of your creation. And the beings that are at war upon your planet are in fact the denied aspects of yourselves. So do not judge anyone at war either, because everything in the truth of the human matrix, of the human heart, of the human mind is all interconnected. And if you continue to judge one another, you're going to create more war, more disease, more destruction. You need to vow to yourselves now to stop all judgment. Firstly, of self. Have understanding. Give yourselves understanding. Give yourselves compassion, honor, grace. Because it is already within you. Your matrix of Earth, of your solar system, and the visual universe of which you know, is all suspended. In fact, within the heart of God itself. If you can grasp this, you will instantaneously begin to transform yourselves. Your universe is like a little ball that is riding upon the waves of kinetic consciousness of God. You are in God, so God must be in you. And God is the invincible force of love, untouched by any matrix, flowing freely through itself and through all created matrix. We are here to be of assistance in any way we can, so we are opening and inviting you to ask questions. For we wish you to understand.
Does anyone have any questions of Maitreya? Bethany?
All right.
Greetings.
I have two questions, Maitreya. One's personal and one's not so. I've had issues with my throat and really basically my entire life. I was just wondering if you could please give me any understanding.
All right, and what is the second question?
It's become more apparent to me lately that so many people have this feeling of being punished, and that's the result of being here. And I was wondering if you could please talk to us about the collective choice we made to come here.
All right, well, your second question, in fact, dear ones, answers your first one. You have been punishing yourself, have you not?
Yes.
Why have you been punishing yourself? Because your answer will answer the second question.
For making the choice
To come into this earthly matrix, this place you think is a prison.
I feel I'd like to remember.
All right, well, you did. And that is the very reason for this transmission. All of you is not here in this earthly matrix. Yes, you have a body, yes, you have emotions, yes, you have a mind. You are having a very tangible, real, physical experience. You have a heart, you have a soul. Because of the illusion of the matrix, you believe there are aspects of yourself that are not here with you. Because the matrix, in its magnetism, in its gravity, has made this experience a very physical one. One where you believe you are separate from the divine matrix of the Creator. And this is exactly what we wish to express and explain to each of you. The moment you understand that the matrix is just a small aspect of yourself, you can allow that flow of kinetic consciousness from the divine Creator, which is you as well, to start to flow through the body. There is an epidemic of spiritual homesickness upon this planet. And many of you have convinced yourselves that you are from other galaxies, other planets, other races. Perhaps you are, but that is not home. Home is always in the heart chakra, because this is where God is. This is the missing aspect of yourselves. You have obeyed the beliefs of religion, dear one, for many, many lifetimes. You understand what we are saying? You decided you did not have a choice, that you must go by the rules and regulations of the religion if you were going to go home. This is the biggest lie perpetrated upon humankind. And you need to feel the grief around this, because we have said always that that deep grief that sits around the heart is the doorway back into wholeness, into the absolute truth. So, if you are having any issues with your throat, we can tell you it is the issue of using your will against yourself. Using your will to believe you had no choice. You are all sovereign, sentient masters of creation. And because you have each obeyed the beliefs of the powerless ones, the religions and the politicians, the priests, you have punished yourselves. If God is love, why would it punish itself? You understand what we're saying? Man punishes itself. And it needs to stop. Because punishing yourself pulverizes your passion. Do you see what we say? The fact you even believe that you have to make the journey from the head to the heart creates even a deeper separation sensation. The only truth, in fact, about any of you is that you are your heart. You are love. And everything built around that, the body, the nervous system, the brain, they're add-ons.
Optional extras.
Optional extras, very good. And when you come into this matrix, this earthly matrix which is ruled by the mind, you say, I need that optional extra and I need that optional extra. But you are all being running on empty within the vehicles of your bodies because it's your emotions that fuel your physical bodies. And when you deny and repress them, you run out of steam. You see what we are saying? Because the emotions are the fuel for the physical body. And when they are in harmony, they wash away the debris of the thoughts that the mind has lodged within the cells of the body. So do you have deeper understanding with these answers?
Absolutely.
And you have one more question. All right, well, we will give you the answer anyway. You fear your power. And what is the opposite of power? Punishment. And we can hear you say, Maitreya, why do I fear my power? Because like everybody else here, dear one, the ego mind has abused it. You have not abused it. Your heart has not abused it. The reality of the love that you are has not abused it. But the mind has abused it. For forgive the mind. It's like giving a child a box of explosives. Do you understand? You go, this looks fun, and you light the wick. Bang, boom. But those experiences of abusing your power are very, very sacred. Because you can see the reaction from the action. And the ego mind is very reactionary. That's all it does. It reacts to everything around it. The heart responds. You are living in a matrix of reactions. You need to start creating a matrix of responding. Responsiveness with love. You see the difference? It is a very simple thing to do, but it is the most powerful thing you can do for yourself. Stop wearing yourselves out reacting. Love yourselves by responding. Responding to a pain in your physical body. Give it love. Sit down with the pain in the knee and say, I am here for you. Here is some love. Don't react and say, well, I'm going to rip it out, whatever it is, or medicate it. Give it love. The tears on your cheek, be grateful. Give them love. Do you see what we are saying? Because we understand you cannot transform what you are not aware of. So you all need to be aware that you have been punishing yourselves, and this creates your powerlessness. Start responding to yourselves and you will become powerful. Thank you for your question. You have assisted many here this morning. Greetings. Another question?
Thank you, Tony. Come have a seat.
I always get very nervous when I come up here. I just wanted to share with people that what you were talking about earlier, I've been through very, very recently.
Yes.
And I have been fighting with the mind and really wanting to get back into my centre, but even felt that I didn't want to be here because I knew I was creating my own discomfort and I couldn't stop it. And I kept feeling I wanted to move house, but it wasn't moving house, it was finding something outside of myself, and yet I knew everything is inside of myself. And I had to go through the dark night of the soul to come out at the other end, and I feel wonderful today. And when I did come out at the other end, which was just recently, I saw this on the Sunday, which was just a couple of days ago, and I thought, that is, the timing is so perfect. And so I just want to share with people that, and also ask how I can keep myself in that balance.
All right, very good. Two things. First, you said you were fighting with the mind. That is the worst thing any of you can do, because as we said, the mind is reactive, so it's looking for a fight. You understand what we're saying? It loves you to fight with it, because then it knows it's got your full attention. The second thing is, you said you went through the dark night of the soul. What you went through, dear one, is the dark night of the mind. You understand what we are saying here?
Yes. Yes.
Because you believe you are in the dark night of the soul because you can't think your way out of it. You get stuck. You feel lost. You feel you have no future, that you can't see anything ahead of you. That is the mind. That is the mind actually shutting itself down. And it allows not the dark night of the soul, but the consciousness of the soul to come into your awareness. The soul overtakes the mind, because the soul will never give you a plan or a scheme or a destination, because the soul radiates kinetic consciousness. This is a beautiful question because it allows us to take the teaching further. The soul and the heart are in fact very closely aligned, but because you are in a world of polarities, you have split them into a heart and a soul. But let us tell you, they are actually one and the same thing. The soul is God, and it expresses through your heart. You see what we are saying? And the heart expresses through the soul. They are very closely intertwined. So, the soul is fueled with kinetic consciousness. It is consistently in complete alignment with the consciousness of God. It is not in a matrix. So, the mind tells you you are in the dark night of the soul, which then brings fear around surrendering to the soul because you can't get a handle on anything. But we have said before, and we will say it again, you as human beings now need to evolve yourselves. Because like any other species upon this planet, if you do not evolve, you are going to dissolve. You will become extinct. It is very simple. So, you need to surrender to this kinetic consciousness that is beyond time, beyond space, and is already within you. So you have had the dark night of the mind, which is now allowing the divine intelligence of the soul to express and expand itself within your creation. Now here is the thing, dear one. It means you don't have to think about anything. Because when you allow that radiant soul through your body, through your auric field, it brings everything you require with no effort or planning or scheming from you. But because you have all been obeying the beliefs in the mind and the things that have been dropped in there, year after year after year, you believe that you have to have a plan, you have to have a destination, you have to have a purpose even. Your purpose, while in this human matrix, is to experience being human. And that's no mean feat, we know. You understand what we're saying? Do you understand, dear one? And each of you are teachers, but your soul wishes to teach this.
I have fear around that.
You do not have fear around that, your mind does. You see what we are saying? Now the thing is, when you are operating from your soul, through your heart, your life becomes spontaneous. So even to stand up and teach in front of an audience means you will have no plan. Your soul will move you to speak. Everything will be spontaneous. And you, the little you in the mind, will be sitting back going, oh my goodness, I didn't even know that, as you listen to yourself. You see what we are saying?
Yes.
So feel that fear, and deeper than that fear, we can promise you is excitement and anticipation. Do not waste your dark night of the mind and keep it to yourself. Share it, because many beings are being hurtled into the dark night of the mind. if you give your soul permission, it will organize everything. Do you understand what we are saying?
Yes.
Thank you, dear one, for sharing everything. Again, you have been of service simply by being present.
Thank you.
Thank yourself. Brother Min will be coming into the next transmission. Surrender yourselves to the kinetic consciousness of your divine being. And you will not just be doing yourselves a favor, you will be doing a favor to the whole of humanity. Because you are seriously on the knife's edge. Do not believe you do not have a choice. Stop punishing yourselves. Have the courage to show your power and your will, your divine will of love. Start responding to yourselves. Stop reacting to yourselves. Because look at the word react. Stop going over the same scene in the play. You see what we are saying? When you react, you are going over old ground. We love you. We love you dearly. You are exquisite projections of God. Love yourselves. Change this matrix of madness into a matrix of harmony and love. Greetings, greetings, greetings.
Do not be disturbed by your throat and your chest hanging up. That's your divine will saying, hey, listen to me.